In 2020, the Supreme Court of Appeal ruled that Afrikaans must be reinstated as a medium of instruction at the University of South Africa, or Unisa, after an appeal by AfriForum. According to the university's website, Unisa is the largest open-distance learning institution in Africa, the longest-standing dedicated distance education university in the world. Supreme Court of Appeal President Judge Mandisa Maya ruled that the new language policy adopted by Unisa was unconstitutional and unlawful and was set aside. This came after a 2016 decision by Unisa to make the university an exclusively English-only medium of instruction institution. For further context, a damning report by a ministerial task team severely criticized the institution and its council for their lack of good governance and failure to safeguard the academic future of the institution. In the face of the big administrative challenges faced by the institution as identified by this task team, it is highly unlikely that the university will have the capacity to re-implement Afrikaans as a medium of instruction, which means that this is only a symbolic victory, unfortunately. In March 2021, the Democratic Alliance launched a petition to protect the rights of mother tongue instruction at Stellenbosch University against persistent attacks by the university management. Out of the 26 public universities in South Africa, only 2 were still offering some modules in Afrikaans at the time, one of these 2 being Stellenbosch University. In March 2021, the Stellenbosch University Senate accepted a recommendation from its Academic Planning Committee that it can deviate from faculty's language implementation plans for the first semester of the year concerned by offering tuition in English only. In June 2021, student organization Studenteplein released a video documenting a diverse group of students' stories regarding the dismantling of Afrikaans at Stellenbosch University and the enforcement of English in student life. In October 2021, the DA and Studenteplein took its battle with Stellenbosch University over the institution's language policy to the Western Cape High Court. The DA accused the university of using the COVID-19 pandemic as a ploy to do away with Afrikaans as a medium of instruction. In December 2021, the Council of Stellenbosch University approved the proposed new language policy for the institution, marking the end of a consultative revision process that started in October 2020. Studenteplein, which represents Afrikaans members in 9 university faculties, rejected the new language policy, stating that it represents a continuation of an English university with Afrikaans and Xhosa decorations on top, as brought about by the 2016 language policy. The normative commitments to an Afrikaans offer in the preamble to the new language policy do not manifest at all in its operational terms, which are still largely based on student demand, staff availability, and available resources. Language implementation is also made subject to what is reasonably practicable in 16 different places in the new policy, but only when it comes to Afrikaans and Xhosa, Studenteplein said in a statement. AfriForum Youth rejected the new language policy as well, with AfriForum Youth Manager Bernard Pieters stating the following. The language policy is written in such a way that even if as few as 2 classes are offered at Stellenbosch University in Afrikaans, it basically complies with all aspects of the new policy. Stellenbosch University says they want to promote multilingualism, but by reducing and downgrading Afrikaans, it certainly does not meet the dictionary definition of promoting, end quote. Earlier in 2021, Studenteplein reported that it had been informed that student leaders of Minerva residents in Stellenbosch were acting uncompromisingly towards multilingualism after complaints were lodged over residents' leadership indicating that songs for the student event SAR, an activity where first-year students sing and perform for their fellow students, would only be performed in English. The South African Human Rights Commission also received complaints that students at Stellenbosch University were being prohibited from speaking Afrikaans in private spaces, including residences, bedrooms, on WhatsApp, and even on park benches in front of student residences. An investigation was subsequently launched. The Democratic Alliance unearthed new evidence backing up the claims that this discrimination was taking place against Afrikaans-speaking students at Stellenbosch University. Furthermore, the DA revealed that the management of Stellenbosch University secretly was of the opinion that there is nothing wrong with prohibiting Afrikaans students from speaking their mother language in residences and on campus. Similarly, in February 2022, students residing in university residences at the University of Pretoria alleged that they were prohibited from using any other language apart from English in the residences, even in private conversations. However, the university management denied the allegations and the students did not pursue the issue further. In January 2022, the South African government indicated that it is persisting with an effort to give itself more power over language policies at schools, including the main language of instruction. These additional powers are included in the Basic Education Laws Amendment Bill, which grants the final authority for admission and language policies to provincial heads of department. At present, school governing bodies comprising members elected by the parents of each school's body of learners have this authority. AfriForum objected to these proposed amendments on grounds that this would result in a situation where single-medium Afrikaans schools no longer have legal standing to refuse the admission of learners who do not speak the language of instruction. For more than 5 years, AfriForum has been objecting to the planned legislation, which, among other things, aims at centralizing decisions on schools' admission and language policies in the hands of the state, instead of the communities in which the schools are located. Despite overwhelming public objection in this regard, these proposals remain part of every new version of the bill. In February 2022, AfriForum announced a victory for Afrikaans, which entailed the registration of a psychology student as an intern by the Health Professions Council of South Africa. AfriForum had been assisting the student, Unisa, with a lawsuit against the council after the student's application for registration was refused simply because his honours degree certificate was in Afrikaans. The council accepted the certificate and finally registered him after AfriForum stepped in. More complaints of a similar nature against the HPCSA have been received. However, the complainants unfortunately withdrew their allegations, fearing victimization. In March 2022, the Minister of Basic Education announced that the department would move forward with plans to incorporate more languages at schools to offer mother tongue education to more South Africans. However, she acknowledged that it would be very difficult to do so in a single medium school environment beyond the 2015 schools in which pilot programs are currently being conducted. This, seen together with a lack of concrete plans to expand the programs as well as the absence of any timelines, indicates that the department does not really envisage empowering the majority of children in the country. Meanwhile, a fierce debate about the definition of Indigenous languages is raging after the implementation of the Language Policy Framework for Public Higher Education Institutions in January 2022. This policy framework recognizes only languages belonging to the Bantu language family as being indigenous, therefore excluding the Khoi, San, Nama languages as well as Afrikaans. The policy framework emphasizes the promotion of indigenous languages by tertiary institutions, but in terms of its definition, the Khoi, San, Nama languages and Afrikaans will be excluded from this right to be promoted. In response, the DA has called on UNESCO to force the Minister of Higher Education to declare all of these languages as indigenous and to cease all forms of exclusion and discrimination against these languages. In conclusion, in regards to this report, The World Must Know, seeing as this is the final episode of the report, AfriForum's main aim with the World Must Know reports is to document in detail as well as expose to the international community the continued persecution of minority communities in South Africa, as well as the ANC government's anti-Western sentiments. The first report, released in 2020, received a significant amount of positive and supportive feedback from civil rights organizations, think tanks, and public figures abroad. It was this positive reaction that encouraged AfriForum to follow up the 2020 report with a new one, which outlines the relevant events to this report's subject matter in the years 2020 to 2022. AfriForum greatly appreciates everyone who shares these reports and those who use it as a reference source in their own writing and publications. AfriForum will continue to research, document, and publish its The World Must Know reports in the coming years. When it comes to all the facts that I mentioned in this video, don't just believe what I say, research what I say and check what I say. And that's made possible by the fact that you can go check out the full report, The World Must Know. That's available in the description of the video. You can go check it out for yourself, read through it in your own time. All the sources are there in the footnotes, and you can go get more context and more information about everything that I discussed in this video. This series is called The World Must Know, so I would really appreciate it if you share this video with all your friends and family and everyone, specifically people abroad, so that they know what's going on in South Africa and get the real facts. So therefore, thank you very much for everyone that's already shared, and you can also help out this video by clicking like and leaving a comment. You can also subscribe to this channel to be notified when you get the next episode in this series. You can also support AfriForum and the work that we do by becoming a member, and you can do that if you live in South Africa. You can go to AfriForum's website, www.afriforum.co.za, and click join. It's very easy. And then if you live abroad and want to support AfriForum and everything we do, you can go to Friends of AfriForum. You can just Google Friends of AfriForum, and then you can become a member there or a supporter of AfriForum through that. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you very much for everyone that shared and everyone that leaves their comments and their feedback. I really appreciate it. And I'll see you on the next episode of The World Must Know. Cheers, guys. Have a good one.
And a lot of people fighting back against this nonsense. Conscious Caracal, whoever he or she is one of them.